Whoa. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Not a Podcast. I'm Candace Jones. If you are new here, if you are returning and loyal subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in again. You are a real one. So Not a Podcast is obviously where it looks, feels, and sounds like a podcast, but I just am resistant to claim it because it's a lot of pressure to call something a podcast. That means producing, that means putting it on different platforms. This is just my version of talking to you guys, my subscribers, talking to my YouTube family, and you guys, don't tell nobody, but y'all are my favorite, to just I think be I wouldn't say my fullest self, but as full as I feel comfortable sharing with the world. You guys are that, so thank you. But girls, we are ending 2023, and if your 2023 was anything like mine, the edges is barely left. The body is breaking down. Just the mind is tired. The being needs a nap. That's just my whole feeling. It's just that my entire being just needs a long nap. And that's not to say that it was all bad. This year felt like 2 years in one to me. So it's not that it was all bad. So I try and keep that in perspective. But I still feel drugged at the end of the day. I don't know. But with every year, there is always something that we can learn, always something we can pull from. So that's why I'm here to talk to y'all. I just want to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, what I've learned, what I'm taking into 2024, what I'm leaving in 2023. So let's get into it. First, make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel just because I want you to join the family, duh. Also, if you could turn on your notifications, that would be great so you never miss an upload, so we can be right here with it. What the hell? Oh, help. That's why it's not a podcast. So before we start, I want you guys to comment your word of 2024 down below. I'm going to tell you what mine is later on in the episode, but I want you guys to drop it in the comments now, just to hold yourself accountable. Okay, so the first thing I want to touch on, we getting straight to it. Burning bridges is in. Oh, maybe I should have made that my gentle gem, even though it's not so gentle. But yes, my alliteration moment of the episode, my gentle gem, is at the top of the episode this time. Burning bridges. What is it? Burning bridges is in. It's in. It's now. It's not out. It's in. What I've learned this year is that if there's anybody in your life that is insistent on leaving, either through their actions, their inaction, just their vibe, whatever it is, let them go. And it doesn't matter what the terms are. It doesn't matter if we left on a bad term. It don't matter if we left on a decent term, a middle, hot, cold. It doesn't matter. You're done. But yeah, y'all, I had to put a few people in the dirt this year, and I hate that. I don't hate it, but it's not the most comfortable for me. I'll be honest. It's not I was never the person that's cutting everybody off every year. That's not my vibe. I already have a very, very small circle. Growing up, my family always joked at me oh, Candace doesn't have any friends. And I think part of it is because I have my childhood best friend. We met in middle school and we've been best friends ever since. And for me, look, I don't ask for too much. That's my dog. That's my rider. I'm good. I'm not going out there looking or feeling like I need friendship, because honestly, I've been blessed to have a friend that kind of just, we get it. We get each other, and we've never had any major issues or anything like that. It's just always made sense. So I think I'm spoiled in that way. But I went to college, also found some really great friends that are still my friends. So I don't know. I've never really put myself in a lot of situations to where I can have those little tiffs and disagreements and all that kind of stuff. I have had some, but it hasn't been super frequent because I don't really deal with a lot of people, to be honest. But yeah, the first person that I had to put in the dirt was at the top of the year. The person that I hired to be my manager, who sold me the moon, the sky, and the stars, and did jack shit. She did less than nothing, because nothing is just nothing. But she tried to convince me that my content was a problem and that I essentially was the reason that I wasn't making any money or bringing in any brand deals because I was doing something wrong. But lo and behold, after I dropped her, I had my highest grossing year. 2023 was my highest grossing year, and I feel really proud of that. So it wasn't all bad, but it got ugly. It got legal. It got just really, really messy. And this person tried to gaslight me. This person tried to just take advantage, honestly, because once I decided that I was going to leave, all of a sudden we have deals coming in. Like, I don't know where they're coming from. All of a sudden we got deals. Sis, what were we doing? Like, what is really going on here? And I was like, you know what? I don't even want to do them. I would rather work with the brand myself. Instead of giving you a percentage that you do not deserve. Now, a month after I tell you I want to leave, or weeks after I tell you I want to leave, things are coming through. Crazy. I did my own thing. I worked my own deals. It was really uncomfortable because that person was trying to paint me out to be somebody that I wasn't to the brands. So I kind of had to form my own relationship, tell my side of the story, and hope that at the end of the day, my reputation wasn't tarnished with these brands that she had spoken negatively about me to. I was able to work with one of the brands. Well, actually, I did one with her, and then I decided to not do the other one. So the one that I decided not to do, that I was trying to do on my own, she was like, you know what? It's too messy. We're not going to do it right now, but I'm going to circle back because I like your content. And she circled back, and we worked together all of 2023. And now a sponsorship deal for a long-term partnership is on the table for 2024. I get really anxious about people thinking negatively about me. And it's something that I'm working through. It's something that I'm getting more comfortable with people having a different narrative than the one that I claim. So she leaves the situation thinking one thing about me. That has to be okay. It has to be, because it doesn't exist in my world. I can take what I need in order to be a better person, take what I need in order to take into a different situation so I know better. I can take tidbits, but as far as the narrative that I'm this and I'm that, girl, sleep with that at night. That's you. Cuddle up to that at night. It has nothing to do with me. That's your problem. Period. I also, how much do I want to talk about? I gave this friendship to God. That's what I just came up with. I don't know how else to say it. I gave it to God because certain things, that's all you can do. There is no level of explaining. There's no level of advocating for yourself. No level of trying to get somebody to see your point of view. There's no level. Sometimes, like, there's nothing that's gonna change that person from feeling how it is that they feel. I was in a situation where one of my close friends felt as if I was being hurtful towards them, and it wasn't the case. At the end of the day, it wasn't the case. I was really busy. Like I said, 2023 was a shit show, and I was dealing with a lot at the time, and I think that person internalized a lot of different things that happened that ultimately had nothing to do with her. And instead of speaking up and saying, hey, I feel really hurt in this way, can you explain what's going on? They took the route of being defensive and making choices that were then hurtful to me. So in a situation like that, I did my best to try and explain, but it got to a point where that person was so stuck on the way that they saw it and couldn't let go of the feelings that they felt in the moment that they came up with the narrative. Like, you come up with the narrative, like, they're doing this, they're doing that. It makes you feel something. And sometimes it's difficult to let that feeling go, to rationalize, or to even hear somebody out. So I was in that position, and it's like, okay, girl, if that's what you want to believe about me, my character, then I have to leave you with that. I can't compromise myself anymore to try and convince you of my true character, if that makes sense. I want to say it was difficult, but it really wasn't, because this person was really convinced about how they felt. And she has that right. She definitely 100% has that right to feel that way. But ultimately it just wasn't the reality. And that is the unfortunate part, is that it wasn't the reality. It wasn't what was in my heart. And I wish that even if they had initially felt a way, that they would have addressed it with a little bit more curiosity, a little bit more vulnerability than they did, to allow me the opportunity to show what was in my heart versus the back and forth. But it's okay. Everybody is on their own journey and standing on what they believe in, trying to find their ability to advocate for themselves. And I think sometimes it can be misplaced, but they're on their journey. I'm on my journey. And it doesn't even have to be anything negative, but I just know that for myself, what I'm not taking into the new year, something that I'm trying to get out of, is feeling like I need your narrative to match up with my narrative, because it doesn't have to. So, but yeah, that brings me into my word of 2024, and my word is surrender. I would find myself fighting for things, fighting for people weren't meant to go into the next phase of my life, whether they come back, whether, whatever the case may be. But a situation was trying to tell me, okay, you need to continue to move forward, continue to live your life. And if that person is meant to find you later, then they will. If not, then you'll continue to live your life and be okay. I'm really, really, really trying to put a heavy emphasis on surrendering, releasing control of things, because I feel like, and I've actually been in therapy, and my therapist told me this. She's a spiritualist, she's a healer, she's all of those things. And she's just like, your angels are like, you're stubborn. You like to do your own thing. You like to not listen to the signs, to yourself, to God. You like to do what it is that you want to do. And I feel that. Like, that's me. Yeah. That is 100% me. And I wonder how many detours I've made because of my need to have things go my way, or my inability to release something, to trust that releasing it is going to take me into the next place that I should be at. So I really, really, really want to learn. It ain't easy. It's not easy not being able to see. We're already on a freaking floating rock, bro. Like, we're floating. We are in these bodies. We can talk. What is this even? And now I'm supposed to just surrender to it all. Sometimes I feel like I'm already not in control of so much. There's already so many things. I didn't ask to be here, not, to my knowledge or to my recollection. So I feel like I'm here. I have a family. I have this body. I have this mind. And none of it, I don't know why this is making me emotional, but that's how strongly I feel about it. Like, bro, it's crazy. I want to cling on to some sort of control, like something that I can say I did. Like, I made sure this happened, like, how am I going to feel sane? But I'm going to try. One thing, I talked about my spiritual journey in one of my recent vlogs. That has been, I think, the missing piece. I've had a lot of confusion in my spiritual journey. It's been a journey. So I finally feel like I'm getting to a place where it's something that I can be anchored in, and something that can be the source of my surrender, the source of my trust, the source of my faith and belief, and just peace. And that feels really good, that I have something that I'm not just grasping for any piece of control, because I don't need it as much. But yeah, I'm tired of being in control. I'm ready to be used. Lord, use me. Tell me what to do. I'm ready. I'm listening. And all that comes with learning to listen to myself, fine-tuning my intuition, all of those things, because I feel like I have this like inner knowing, but so many different things have, I feel like, tainted it. Just clear out the noise and just learn to connect with that part of myself that just can feel that clearly, can feel what is for me, can listen, and also asking more questions, praying more, doing all of those things. that make me just slower to make decisions, just have more of a filter that things go through, just to triple check, because who got time? Who has time for the detours? Obviously they're gonna happen, and I truly feel like regardless of the detours, we make it to the same place. Like, it may take us a little bit longer, but we're still gonna get to where we need to be. I'm trying to stand on business. I'm not trying to F off. That already brings me to how I am making 2024 my best year yet. And I say best year yet very lightly, because I don't believe in that trying to like always one up, do something, like it feels like stressful, and I don't like my life to be stressful, and I don't want to put all that pressure on my life, because I know that I'm going to learn lessons when I need to learn lessons. So take it very lightly. But yeah, number one is I'm going to be doing better at doing the small things. Those like small things that just will make your life just feel better, but they're like the hardest things to do. Like for me, waking up and stretching, I automatically know, mood booster, day booster, my body feels great. It even gives me a chance to meditate for a second. Like, it feels so good. Why don't I do it every morning? What's the word for that? Insanity? I don't know. Like, self-sabotage? Like, I don't know what it is that makes like these things that could be so simple like just so hard to stay consistent with. Like, I do them, but it's usually when things have gotten out of hand and that back tight and them shoulders is tight and the neck hurt, that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's time. But doing those things before it's time, that's one of them. That's in. Number two, like I said before, slowing down during my decision-making process. I make very passionate decisions sometimes, and I want to stay there. Like, I don't want to completely abandon that part of myself that feels really excited about something and wants to execute. But I also, like I said, I want to have a little bit of a filter. We're going to pray about it. We're going to process it. And we're going to collect a little bit of proof. Let it come up a couple times first. Not just on the first. We're not going to run with it the first time. We can get excited the first time, but we're going to process it a little bit after that. And then once it continues to come up, okay, let's move, because we're not in a rush. We're not in a rush. And sometimes I feel like I am in a rush. Like, I'm on a hamster wheel and it doesn't feel good. I want to get off. So yes, we're gonna try that out in 2024. This one is a little heavy, but I want to challenge my default systems by exploring my limiting beliefs and challenging my limiting beliefs. So the things that I have an idea, like let's say the little habits, I'm gonna start off with the small habits that I know make big changes in my life. And when I default back to something that isn't necessarily good for me, what thought is reinforcing that default system? Is it that, one, I'm not good at routine? I'm not good at being consistent. I'm not a consistent person. I am too all over the place. I'm not organized. Those little things that like we say that can seem harmless, but they reinforce something that keeps showing up in our life. So continuing to just break it all the way down. Nothing is by mistake. And I'm realizing that like certain things I didn't even realize that I struggle with, and it's coming to light and it can feel overwhelming, but just taking it piece by piece. And I don't have to freaking build Rome in 5 seconds, but knowing that it's there and continuing to make strides and be aware. Okay, we're going to lighten it up a little bit. Number 4 is living. I want to continue to live my life, even though I'm getting a lot of information in therapy about what's wrong and what I need to fix and who did that and who did this. I just want to live my life. I don't want to feel inundated, if that's the word. Sometimes I'll be knowing words and I don't know how I know them. But I don't want to feel just like overwhelmed and crowded by everything that's wrong. I want to continue to live my life and have fun. And then that leads me to hobbies. I want to have more hobbies. Creating content used to be a hobby for me. Obviously, it's not anymore. It's become more of a job situation. Even though I still enjoy it, it's just a little bit different. So I want to have more things that I do that are just for me. They're not for money. They're not for anybody else, but they just make me feel good. So if you guys have any hobbies currently, or if you've thought about starting any, you have any ideas, leave them in the comments for me, because I am open. Right now, I'm thinking about learning a new language. I want to learn Spanish for real. I know it a little bit, un poquito, but I want to actually be fluent in it by the time I leave this earth. Also writing. That's something that I've always enjoyed ever since I was young. So kind of tapping back into that. Obviously reading a little bit more. If you guys have any not nonfiction. What's the word? Fiction. I want fiction. Fiction books, juicy, you know what I'm saying. I like a grown book. I'm a grown woman, okay? And also I need something that's outdoors too, so I'm gonna explore that a little bit more. But yeah, I want more things to do with my time, to just be free and just be me. Number 6, I want to develop more routines. I feel like I kind of touched on this, but routines that are specific to me. I'm not about to be scrolling on YouTube or TikTok or anything like that, trying to copy anybody else's routine verbatim. I want something that I feel like works for me, so it's something that I can stick to a little bit more and just supports my goals and who I know myself to be. Not in a limiting belief kind of way, but just in a I know myself kind of way. Currently, I've been starting my day with this book that Casey Aaliyah suggested on her Instagram story, and I went and got it. It's by Iyanla Vanzant. It's called One Day My Soul Just Opened Up, and it is a 40-day journal. 40 days and 40 nights to spiritual growth and spiritual strength and personal growth. I think that's what it is. I've really been liking it so far. I like that's something that kind of is a grounding point for my day, because you start it in the day and you end it in the night every single day. So it's giving me, even if I don't do anything else, I'm making sure that I do this. Some prompts she says is going to take a little bit more. You have to sit with it, digest it, all that stuff. But I am really focusing on making something a daily occurrence. It's so hard for me. Maybe y'all don't relate, but if you do relate, in the comments, let me know that I'm not by myself. But I do things on cycles, so I guess if you zoom out and look at it, it's consistency, but on a day-to-day, it's not giving that. But thank you, Casey, for recommending this. It has been really good so far. I just started, so I can't say too much about it, but I really like it so far, and Iyanla is my girl, so I'm excited to see what I continue to learn. Number 7, in 2024, I will be caring a lot less about everything. I will be caring less about me, like certain things about me, my appearance. Well, okay, let me not lie. I care about my appearance, but I'm not gonna care so much about what other people think about my appearance. Being able to show up on social, show up just my natural self, whatever it looks like, trying to care a lot less about those things, being a lot less self-conscious. Also caring less about what others try to project on me, and understanding when something is more about them than it is about me. Also caring less about trying to prove myself or meet certain expectations that are like silent expectations of other people. Look, I'm here to please God and thine self. I'm talking out big and bad, but it's really hard because I've adopted some people pleaser tendencies and stuff like that, feeling like I need to prove myself to not only myself, but to my family and whomever else. Done with it. Probably not fully done, but I'm gonna try. And last but not least, number 8 is having hard conversations when I do care. So it's not all about don't care, cut them off, put them in the ground, bury them dead to me. It's not all about that, because sometimes it's something that is really worth speaking up for, whether it's for them, for you, whatever the case may be. But speaking up when there's something that genuinely bothers me, or something that I can't just let go, where something is giving me the nudge to speak up for myself, to not just avoid conflict because it's uncomfortable, just put it underneath the rug because that's where it should stay. None of that, but then also not just being overtly just conflict left and right. So finding that happy medium between things that deserve my voice and things that don't deserve my voice, period, because it's valuable. If you guys have anything that you want to add to that list, feel free to do it down in the comments. It helps me, and I'm sure that it helps other people that are watching the video as well. I want to know. I would love more things to add to this list, so make sure you drop everything down below in the comments. And lastly, the takeaway of this video is just that I want us to feel as free as we ever have in 2024, feel joy, while also just becoming closer to our truest self. And that starts with being clear about what that looks like. So today's takeaway is an assignment. I want you guys to write your own in and out list. What's in, what is it that you're going to try and adopt to align with your word of the year, and what's out, what is contradictory to how it is that you want to feel in 2024. Make that, refer to it often, and try your best to stick to it. I mean, we're human, we ain't gonna be perfect, but at least having a vision of where you want to go, I feel like, is just your best chance at making it there. But yeah, girls, that's all I got for you guys today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy this format as a whole, because I don't know, I really like it. I don't know, maybe it's just because I like talking, even though I don't really like talking. So I think it's just that I genuinely like sharing things that I think about, that I feel like are important for us to relate on, you know, because life can feel like I'm just going through this, and it feels good to know that other people are thinking these thoughts, are going through these same processes, and I don't know, it just feels good. So I thank you for being here, and I will see y'all in 2024. If you have any video suggestions, any topic suggestions, any questions, of course, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.